Hello and welcome to Travel Beans. I'm Emma, down there is Alex, and today we are in Joshua Tree National Park.
And then you got to hit the camera. Throw a rock.
After a pretty uneventful evening sleeping in a Walmart car park, we headed towards our final stop on our road trip, Joshua Tree National Park. Named after the iconic Joshua trees, or Yukka, which you can find dotted around everywhere. Alex and I did visit Joshua Tree once before, many years ago, but it was very brief, so we were desperate to get back there to spend more time exploring. We are just driving through kind of the pre-national park section, so we have a lot of houses here. It's like a weird, quirky neighborhood.
I guess it must be really cheap to live out in the desert here.
I guess so.
I mean, there's so much land. Surely, with this unforgiving environment and so much land, in theory it should be so cheap. But then also you're only a few hours away from LA.
Yep.
And I guess that makes it expensive. I don't know.
Oh.
In the comments, to live in Joshua Tree or the desert, how much?
Yeah, is it expensive or is it cheap? We need to know. This is the Joshua Tree, which is like the Yukka, I think, and it's just everywhere. It's a full-on Yukka forest. Look ahead. It's kind of weird actually, because it's like a forest but a desert, so it's like you're driving through an oasis or something. Been thinking this place is blowing my mind right now, and we're pretty well traveled. We've seen a lot of the world. I mean, we've been to Joshua Tree even before. I don't remember it looking this awesome last time. What I'm thinking is the first people that ever discovered this area of land, what was going on in their heads? They were probably where are we? Have we come to an alien land? What are these things growing everywhere?
They would have been absolute badasses there, so this is probably just nothing. They've just beaten 3 bears up.
Yeah, and a rattlesnake.
As you drive along, there seems to be loads of little spots where cars are parked up, so I'm guessing there's something quite nice to see. We decided to pull over, and the reason being actually is something that I've loved about here in the US, especially these huge national parks, is that because America is so big, even though it's so busy, there's no one. Look how ideal this is.
I know. I don't know where everyone is. There's a few cars parked up, but there's no one around.
We're obviously missing something.
I just think it's so big that you're not very likely to bump into people.
Look at the size of the rocks. Come, let's see them from perspective. Let's show them. Now, all you guys at home know I'm a massive 6'7". Look at it. Come up here. It's like being a child and seeing it through children's eyes. When you go walking through something like this, like these little passageways, yeah, we could walk along the path. But if you come through here, it feels much more magical when you break through to the other side.
It reminds me of the Valley of Fire a little bit, with the kind of, you can go into your own secret little hideaway.
Come through here and then look at this. It's like our own little garden again.
Exactly. This is so cool.
It's hard to explain, but there's definitely a feeling, just being here.
Yeah.
It gives you a very nice, calming feeling. This national park here is one of the smaller, if not the smallest national park in California. So you've got Death Valley, Yosemite, Sequoia, these much, much bigger ones.
It's small, but it's extremely beautiful. It's almost concentrated in such a small little spot.
Another thing that I would like to note, that so far, at least on this trip, is that the temperature pretty much everywhere has been perfect. It's actually quite fresh and cold right now. It's so delicious on my skin.
Okay, hold on a second. I've just realised, I'm looking at you. Look how you're dressed. You look very smart. You look lovely today. And you blend in perfectly with this environment.
Which is very me.
It's like camo, but just for Joshua Tree. The green and the beige.
I literally feel like a child here. It's amazing. Anytime there's trees or rocks to climb, I'm so happy. And if anyone's going to San Diego or LA, I believe this is the closest national park to those places, so it's a must-see place.
Looking for a campsite, but unfortunately every single one that we've seen is full, plus we do have to return the RV in the morning. So Alex and I have been talking, and what we're thinking we might do is rent another RV towards the end of the trip, because we are not ready for this to end. As we've been making our way through Joshua Tree, the landscape has actually changed a lot more than we expected it to, and it started to resemble more something like Death Valley, very mountainous, and now we've come around the mountains to a little, what I can only describe as a fuzzy, cute little cactus forest. So during this trip, I've been introduced to quite a few different species of cactus, and I have to say, this is definitely the cutest type of cactus I've ever seen. And I don't know if these usually have flowers on them, but they have like these little cups coming out of some of them. Actually, I read over there as well that you shouldn't get too close to them because the spines could like pierce the skin super easily, and it can be really difficult and painful to get them out, so don't get too close. Oh, this one's especially nice. Wow.
Is it just me? My first thought, they look like sausage balloon animals. You know when they blow up the animals and then they tie them all together? Like, look at this little goat-like one over here. Look at it.
What are you talking about?
It looks like a llama made out of balloons.
Which one?
The llama, the obvious llama, look at it.
The obvious llama.
Ears, head, fluffy brown body. Come off it. Leave in the comments how right I am. Our final stop on this campervan trip basically is something that I'm so excited for. I stumbled across it today. This is Cottonwood Springs, and quite clearly an amazing oasis in the desert. Like, just show around there, like, look how, this is very desert-like.
Yeah. So you've got nothing but ground like this, and then all of a sudden, this pops out of nowhere.
So thick, and these trees. Oh, come on, please, let's go. For the first time in my pointless little life, I am speechless. Walk around that corner.
You hear about like an oasis in the desert when you're a kid reading stories and watching movies, but you never actually think they're real. This is an actual oasis in the desert.
We are too similar.
Not only is this an oasis in the desert, but they've got autumnal leaves going on. It's like my two favourite things merging together.
Naturally, this is one of the weirdest things, like the natural phenomena I've ever seen. Like, when I picture an oasis in the desert, you picture a little palm tree, bit of water, maybe surrounded by sand dunes, just lovely. Wouldn't even be able to come up with this, and I have a weird mind. This is... I'm always fighting to stop with these superlatives, but like, in nature, this is one of the best things, one of the most unique things. Nothing does this justice. I've seen pictures, like, I was excited to see it, but the reality of it is outrageous. The sheer cheek of those trees to get that big in the desert when everyone else is struggling and dying. Outrageous.
After leaving Joshua Tree, we returned the van and made our way back to our friend's place in LA, where we were lucky enough to enjoy our first real Thanksgiving. That's right, we're a little behind on our uploads. We thought this would sadly be the end of our US road trip series, but then, just a couple of days later, we had some exciting news.
So we're back in California, and I am very happy to announce that our friends over at Travelers Autobahn have given us a